What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for Ready to Love. This is season 8, you guys. Reunion part two, you guys. So we are finally done with Ready to Love, you guys, and I am ecstatic, you guys. Now before we go ahead and just jump into this review, I don't plan on being on here too long, you guys. But be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn your post notifications on, and also share the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode of Ready to Love, the reunion part 2, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys. So tell me what you guys thought about part 2 of the reunion. Did you guys like it? How you feeling? For me, it really didn't give a whole lot, but as I stated, the reunion is over. We're done with it. We can move forward with our lives at this point. We can just wait for the second season of Dallas. Also, you guys know that next week, I believe it's next Friday, they are doing the Ready to Love, Ready to Make a Move or something like that with Zadia, Sharice, Vernisha, and I don't know who the other young lady is, but y'all know that they're doing that. So people have been asking me, am I going to review it and watch it? We will watch the first episode, you guys. I'm not 100% sold on it, but we'll watch the first episode. If it gives me something that I feel like I want to talk about, then I'll definitely come on here and definitely do a pre-recorded video for it. I don't think we'll go live for it. I think we'll just do literally pre-recorded. So yeah, that's where we are right now. So this part 2 of the reunion, honestly, I feel like we could have summed this all up in part 1 because part 2 was just a bunch of nothing. If I'm being honest with if we're being honest with ourselves, for me it was a bunch of nothing. So part 2 opened with Tequila going back and forth with Janelle, right? And this cow peacock bird dress she got on is really ugly. I'm sorry, this dress is horrendous. Um, so she, like I said, she's going back and forth with Janelle. And then at one point she said, yeah, I want Sierra and Jessica. And I was like, what did Sierra do to you, girl? Like, I was thoroughly confused. She said she had something for Sierra too. I was like, what did they do? So we moved on from that, right? So they asked to have Katarina, Marie, Janelle, and Q on the stage, right? So really and truly, nothing came from this thing with them. We talked about how Janelle was with Katarina, and I mean we all saw it when Janelle went live, when Janelle went down to her apartment. So we know that Janelle got it in her. Excuse me, y'all. But they talked about it. I don't think that there was ever a connection with Katarina and Q. Like I've said plenty of times before, for me, it felt like a lot of people were just trying to make it to the end. Excuse me. So yeah, it felt like for me, like a lot of people were just really trying to make it to the end of the process and get from it what I don't know. So Kat did talk about how the fact that she feels like when it comes to Janelle, that Janelle is very belittling. She rubs her the wrong way. And I understand. I mean, I get where she's coming from, right? But Tommy did call out the fact that Katarina called Janelle a bitch when they were on the retreat. And I was like, okay, but I mean, let's be real with each other. It's not like, Janelle has been the nicest person in this process. Like she hasn't been. She's had issues with quite a few people. Like if you say one person, then I'm like, okay, maybe it was just, maybe she just didn't, rock with that person. But it was now, I'm gonna give it to her when it comes to Tacky Tequila as well as Kira. Those two they would rub me the wrong way as well, right? Tequila and Kira would be a no for me. But then when it came to Katarina, I still didn't understand what her issue was with Katarina. And then I'm gonna say on the flip side, I didn't understand what Katarina's issue because Katarina in her interviews would say some things about Jessica. So I never understood. I just didn't understand it on anybody's side. Like if you're on this show to have connections, then focus on that and less about the drama, right? And what I will say is I think Ready to Love needs to do like a revamp. I don't know what they could do. Um I really don't know what they could do, but they definitely need to overhaul it and probably um I don't know, because the process is off, because it just feels like people just get on the show and they try to force the connections, right? And they try to make as many connections as they can in order to not be eliminated, and that's the problem. It does Nothing seems genuine. When you watch it, it seems disingenuous, and I think that's my biggest issue when it comes to Ready to Love. But you guys definitely tell me what you guys think. That's just my personal opinions about the situation. So what I found so funny was when Kat was talking to Janelle, Tequila's behind his back there kind of nigga. She called her, yeah, Catalina. I was like, how are you agreeing with this woman, but you don't know her name? It's Katarina, not Catalina, but okay, girl. So then Janelle was talking about the fact that she feels like some of the people are obsessed with her. I was like, oh my God. That is one thing that I just can't stand when people try to say, oh, you're just obsessed with me. Janelle, I don't necessarily think that people are obsessed with you. I think your personality was just that very prickly and nobody liked you besides the people that you did, rock with. Hey, Greta, I'm trying to highlight your comment, but it's not doing it. There we go. Yeah, how are you doing today? But something's up with my computer this morning. So you say they're just trying to make it to the end. I do agree. Yeah, I think that is the thing for a lot of people, that some people are just ultimately just trying to make it to the end of the process, and it's very evident and it's very obvious, to be quite honest. So, like I said, Janelle was talking about the fact that she's saying that people are obsessed with her. I vehemently disagree with that, right? And what I will say is, you've rubbed like I will give Kat that you may have rubbed Kat the wrong way, and and I said, even with this stuff with Tequila and with Kira, yes, you may have rubbed them the wrong way, and vice versa. But I don't think that people were necessarily obsessed with Janelle. I feel like people say, when people say, it's like you're obsessed with me or you're jealous of me, and they give no real context behind that, right? Because I just don't think that anybody is necessarily jealous of Janelle. I think that they just was like, you know what, she ain't for me, and I wish that if that were the case, like if a lot of people say she's not for me, let's not address her. Let's not talk. I'm not like, if somebody is not for me and I don't rock with you, and your personality is one that I don't necessarily like, I'm not going to interact with you. I'm not going to say anything to you. I'm probably not going to even want to be in the same room with you. The only time that we would have been in the same room together would be for the lounge. Other than that, I would have never. If production said you got to go out on a date with Quentin and Janelle, and I would have been like, absolutely not. I don't like that lady. I don't want to be around her. So find somebody else to fill that slot, but it wouldn't be me. So I disagree with her in the fact that she feels like people are obsessed with her. Could she have said that y'all have my name in y'all mouth so much? Then the question would be, why do they have your name in their mouth? What are you doing to them, right? So that ended that. Tommy really ended it by saying, sometimes we just don't like each. Two people might not like each other, and that is what it is. I don't think any of these people really like each other. That's just my personal opinion. So yeah, we wrapped up with that scene, you guys. And so we went to a commercial break, and then we came back with the Chris segment, you guys. And I will say that this Chris segment, I did not like it. And I didn't like it for two reasons, right? One, Chris was laughing throughout that entire segment. I'm like, so you found everything that you've said and done funny. You found the fact that you called Jessica combative funny. You found you were laughing when they got to that scene where you were screaming and cussing at her. You found that funny, huh? Okay. That tells me all I need to know about you, Chris, and that hairline that you got. Like, I wanted somebody just to snatch that wig off of his head. Like, that was all I needed for somebody to do, was just to go up to Chris and just snatch that wig off his head, and let's see the whole bald spot on your head, right? So the other thing that I said, the other thing that I did not like about this particular scene was Kira. So Kira was backstage and she was like, "Yeah, I agree with you, Chris." It's like, what is it with people being like, you're a pick me, and so is Katarina. And we're gonna talk about Katarina in just a little bit too, right? So I'm so glad that they showed the whole package, because the whole package proved that Chris was nothing but a liar, and the fact that he did in fact call Jessica combative, right? So Katarina at one point, she was, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but she was talking about the fact that she doesn't understand why saying that word was such a bad thing. And I'm like, are you serious? Combative, aggressive, angry. Why do why are we attaching that to black women if it doesn't apply, right? Like, we those are trigger words, and we know how the media paints black women and black men. Whereas with our counterparts, and I tweeted this last night, right? I tweeted that if this were a white woman and she was exhibiting what they're trying to say Jessica exhibits, right? She would then be called passionate, whereas with Jessica, she's called aggressive. Um, so we got to think about that. And somebody was in my tweets was like, "Nah, we would call her a Karen." I'm like, some would, but some wouldn't. Like, we got to be real about the situation. Chris, and that's kind of what my problem was with Chris, was the fact that he could not take accountability. Even after seeing it, he still said that those were not his words, that those he tried to place it on Marie and say that the other men said it as well. Well, they didn't show that. All they showed was you using the word combative. So instead, like, Chris is a shell of a man, because when you see it on the screen, all you have to do is say, you know what, my bad, right? I used the wrong choice of words. I could have said something else to describe Jessica. I didn't even have to speak about Jessica at that point, because by the time that we had that gentleman's lounge for when they were on the retreat, she and I had been disconnected from each other. So I didn't have to really speak on her. So for that, I do apologize, right? And he gave a half-ass apology. He said he apologized for his words. I'm like, so you apologize for your words, but you don't want to apologize for your actions as well? Because your actions are I don't know which one is worse, if it's the actions or if it's the words, because they're both just as bad. Like, you're calling her combative, but then you're exhibiting combative, aggressive, antagonistic behavior at that elimination date. So you could apologize for everything. And like I said, Cat gave big pick me energy. I don't dislike Cat, but I don't like people who say, well, I don't know what's so wrong about that word. If you tell me I'm combative, I'm gonna look in and see what I can change. Like, excuse me? That made no sense to me. What, like, point? I want somebody to paint everything. Just tell me overall, from what we saw this season, what did Jessica do that was so combative? And don't say, oh, because she's cool with Janelle. That is called grouping, you guys. Y'all are grouping her with Janelle. She's done nothing to anybody to exhibit the combative behavior. Like, let's keep that a buck. Yes, y'all might want to paint that on Janelle, because Janelle absolutely 100% gave that energy. But let's also be real about it. Tequila gives combative energy. Tequila has been combative. If we're going to keep it real, Tequila has been that way. Janelle has been that way. So why did we not give those titles to those women, but we give it to Jessica? Make it make sense to me. That's the only question that I have. Like, that's the only question that I have. Why are we attaching it to the one person who hasn't exhibited it, but the two people who have? And I know we've called Janelle Mean Girl all season, but we gotta call a spade and keep it real with each other. And gotta keep it a buck. Greta says, I didn't find anything combative about Jessica. Exactly. And I've told you guys, um, we've all said, I think everybody has said this, even Misha said this. Jessica has RBF, you guys. She has resting bitch face. She has resting bitch face, and she rolls her, like, if you guys actually go and look at Jessica, look at a lot of her scenes. She has, like I said, she has RBF and she rolls her eyes. Those are the two things that I've noticed about Jessica this season. But as far as the combative side, we can't, like, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna attach combative to her when the two combative people were the ones who have gotten into the fight in the ladies' lounge and at this damn reunion. That is Tequila. Tequila gives big combative energy. Tequila gives big combative energy. Greta says exactly. Janelle and Tequila are the combative ones. Terry says Jessica mentioned the feather to Janelle on the sly. I mean, that's just being shady. That's being shady mentioning the feather, right? But I don't think it's combative or anything. But I think Tequila just can't. And with regards to that feather, I think Tequila was came there ready for whatever. I think she was already on go because you see how she came at Sierra. Now, unless Sierra said something on the slide that we didn't hear, I think Tequila came there ready to fight. That's the energy and the vibe that Tequila gives me all the time. But yeah. Um, I know that a lot of people were upset last night on Twitter when Jessica addressed who did she address? She addressed Kat and Lee, right? And she called Lisa and she called what is her name? Kat sis, and then she said, I don't deal with bitches like you. I know people got upset about that. I didn't really feel one way about that, you guys. Yeah, it is what it is. She called her a bitch, and Kat called Janelle a bitch at one point. So everybody's a bitch. I don't feel too much about that. Like calling somebody, I don't get offended by names like that. It is what it is. I would pay it dust. But I know, like I said, a lot of people got upset about it. And speaking of which, one person, he is like Chris. Let's just talk about Chris a little deeper, right? I think Chris is obsessed because he posted that clip on his because I saw his Instagram, and he posted that clip like Thursday or something, and you saw everybody in the comments caping for Chris. I was like, oh my God. Like, how do y'all cape for this man? I'm sorry. This is a man that has a unit on his head. Like, and it's you can tell it's a unit at this point, right? But that's Tommy ended that scene because Jessica was trying to say something to Chris, and Chris was still talking. So Tommy just said, you know what, let's wrap this scene up. And that's exactly what he did, right? So the next scene we got is with Aries and Phil, right? So we see their package, and then Tommy asked Phil, was he disappointed when he chose Aries and Aries didn't choose him? And he said, no, he wasn't disappointed in that scene. It was actually the week prior when the communication started to, uh different, be a little bit different than what they had previously had, right? So Aries explained, why she chose herself. She had been in two marriages before, and she's at a point where she wants financial stability in her relationship. And Phil says, well, he does have a job, right? He does have gainful employment. Speaking of Tequila, Tequila keeps talking about that man backstage. And it's like, sis, why are you so pressed? I just really want to know why Tequila is so pressed about Phil. It's given like you pressed about Phil, but you have nothing to say about the cosplaying man that you going up for. Tequila is a bird. Tequila is ignorant. Tequila is a lot of other things that I could say. I just don't see it for Tequila. Tequila just not my cup of tea. And yeah, we can be done with Tequila. Um, so we found out that Phil and Aries they did go out on some dates after the process ended. I don't necessarily know where they stand. I guess they cool. I don't know because I don't know if we really got a definitive answer about those two, but they're not upset with each other. They're not upset with each other. And I guess they in a good space. I don't know. I do know that she was like, she is like again to the financial stability part of Aries. She's okay. She didn't want to go along that. What it is for her was whatever he wants to do on the side. I don't think she wants to go along with that journey. I think that was what it was for her because he was talking about the fact that with his comedy, this show was able to help him get back into that and start writing again. And that's what I said about his when I the episode when we met her mom and she said he's too old for this. It's not the fact that he's too old for this. It's the fact that I think people just want him. He should have stable employment. And hey, Shane, how are you doing today? I need to go watch your review. But it's not the fact. I think the issue is she just wanted to be stable. She doesn't want to be on a journey with someone else who is trying to find themselves and figure out what they want to do. Right. I think that's more so what it was with Aries, and I respect that. Let me know what you guys think about it. So next up, you guys, we moved over to Kira, you guys. And what I will say about Kira is delusional. I get that she felt the way about Marie um attaching, I guess what you was trying to say, blackness onto her, or how black is she and stuff, right? But the thing with Tequila is you started this whole situation with when it comes to white women who's who's closer to white and all that stuff. You're the one that started this, and so now you're offended, right? You're the one that said you believe that Quentin dates white women. You're the one that said you're the closest thing to white. So now you're mad because people brought into question your blackness. I didn't get it. Yes, people made an assumption about you. People made an assumption about you because of things that have come out of your mouth. So if you say something like, I'm the closest thing to white, what do you think people are going to interpret that to mean? Like, let's be real, girl. Like, and she didn't even take accountability for the things that she said about Quentin because she doubled down on it. Because Tommy asked her, like, why did you feel like he would date white women? She said, well, because he's from Florida. So maybe I should have said Latino women. And so I was like, so just because he's from Florida, that means that, so let's just say all black men from Florida have to like Latino women. Is that what you're saying? Like, she just made no sense to me, and I wanted her to literally shut the hell up. Like, I get it. If you feel that Marie made you feel a way about being black, that's fine. But we're not gonna downplay what you did to Quentin. We're not gonna downplay that, and we're definitely not gonna downplay that comment that you made about I'm the closest thing to white. What does that mean? So I was really over Kira. I really was. But you guys can let me know, what did you think about that? I really wish that she had apologized to Quentin and just said, "Hey, I made an ass of myself because I made an assumption that you like white women and you don't." But she didn't, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Now I want to ask a question to Marie. What was that Beyonce comment for, sir? I really didn't understand that Beyonce concert. I didn't understand that Beyonce concert comment, but I'm not gonna go too deep on it because it really wasn't that deep for me. I just noticed that he just mentioned Beyonce, and I was like, what the hell was that for? So the next thing we get up is the situation with Quentin, Lee, and Janelle. Um, you guys, when it comes to Lee and Quentin, I think they may have had a connection with each other, but I think that that connection may have fizzled off early in the process. I think that that connection may have fizzled early in the process. Now, I do know that they were talking about Quentin was talking about the fact that, with him, when he's dating someone, he's solely dating that one person. So it probably is difficult in this process, right? To date multiple people, but that's the name of the game. This is a process where it's speed dating on steroids, and you're trying to find the best person for you. So I get what he's saying. And Lee talked about the fact that when they went on a retreat, how when it came down to Janelle, nobody could have a conversation with Quentin, and that is 100% true. Janelle can sit on that stage and deflect and say whatever she want to say, but Lee is correct. Anytime Lee had a conversation with him or did anything with the man, you were there like his shadow. So I wanted Janelle to just be like, yeah, that was my man, and I don't want him having I didn't want him to try to form any more connections, because by that point we were solely locked in with each other. But she did not say that, and I wanted her to say that. I wanted her to say that, but she didn't. She said that Quentin, he could talk to whoever he wanted to talk to. That is 100% true. He could have talked to whoever he wanted to talk to, but would he, is the question. Like, let's just talk about it. When he was cooking and he was half naked and Katarina was there, what did she do? She came out there, right? When he and Lee was fishing, what did she do? She came outside being extra. So yeah, Janelle, you can say whatever you want to say, but the edit says the opposite. So yeah. um you guys, now I want to point out one thing, and I didn't get a picture of it, but it's all over Twitter if you guys want to go look at it. Janelle's shoes, you guys. I'm not trying to be shady or nothing, but are those real red bottom shoes? Because when you look at the shoes, they do have red all the way up them, but in a certain area, they're scuffed up. So they're scuffed up like really, really bad. And I'm like, are those real red bottom shoes? Or did somebody try to paint these to be red bottom shoes? And that's not me being shady, it's me asking a question. That is just me asking a general question. So don't nobody get offended by it. I'm just asking a question. Were those real red bottom shoes, or were those some shoes that somebody tried to paint them red? Just asking the question. But even still, if they're red bottom shoes, I would have preferred you get some new red bottoms, because if they were real red bottoms, they were scuffed up like hell on the bottom, and I wouldn't have went on camera with my shoes looking like that. Again, that ain't no shade. It's just me pointing out what I saw. Right. So to wrap up the reunion, Tommy asked, Janelle and Quentin what the status of their relationship is. Now I know somebody DM'd me this morning and sent me I know somebody DM'd me on Twitter, and I saw that they are no longer together. I kind of put two and two together when I saw them earlier. That's when I saw them at Jessica's back to school event. I kind of put two and two together that they may not be together with each other, but they were talking to each other. They said, they were in the process of still kind of figuring things out, how to integrate each other into each other's lives and things like that. Um, yeah, it is what it is, you guys. We know that they're broken up. Not a shocker. But yeah, that is Rated to Love, you guys. Season 8. It is a wrap, you guys. And I am thankful for that, you guys. So I know that at the end of the episode, they did show the trailer for the new show, Rated to Love, Make a Move, I believe. I think that's the name of that show, you guys. I could be wrong. Where Tamika's hosting it. And like I said, we got Zadia, Cherise from Miami, and Vernisha from Houston. And again, I don't know the other young lady, so I don't know what season she comes from. You guys can definitely tell me in the comment section and on the live chat who she is, what season she's from. I may actually at one point like go back and rewatch the first 3 seasons of Rated to Love. I don't know. I say it all the time, but I may watch you guys. But yeah, you guys. With that show, I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm like I said earlier, I'm gonna watch it next Friday, and then if I put up a review, you guys will see the review. If not, then I decide not to review it. But I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. Do you guys want to let me know what you guys think? Should we watch it? Should we watch it, you guys? I'll take your suggestions. But like I said, also ultimately it'll just depend on what the episode gives. But you guys tell me. You guys let me know. Live chat and in the comments. Do you guys want me to review it? So that's really all I got, you guys. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? We're ready to love? Not really. Not really, you guys. So yep, we are, like I said, we're officially done with season 8 of Rated to Love. This has been an interesting season, you guys. Very interesting season. So I'm interested to see what the second season of Dallas gives. I hope it gives more than this season did. Greta says, I think we should watch it. Okay. I'll watch it next Friday and see what the episode gives. The only thing about that show is that you guys know how I feel about Zadia. You guys know I did not like Zadia, her season of Rated to Love. And then I saw Camille came in there too in the episode. I was like, oh God, Zadia and Camille, the two worst people from that season. What season was that, you guys? Was it DC? Were they DC or were they Potomac? I can't remember, but I believe they were DC. I believe they're DC. I know Sharice. Is Sharice the first or second season of Miami? Sharice is the first season of Miami, right? I think Sharice is the first season of Miami. What up, Bill? What up? How are you doing today? But yeah, you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this mess and see what it's given. But I'm not sold on it 100%. But we'll definitely check it out, and I might do reviews about it. I might do reviews. I might, right? Because there's nothing else on Fridays on OWN. Because we don't know when Bell Collective is coming back. I think I saw Scotty said they'll be back in November. Lord, you guys, November is gonna be a busy month because we got so many shows that are returning. Because you guys know that Married at First Sight that returns on October the 18th. I'm not looking forward to that. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills returns on the 25th. Real Housewives of Miami returns on November 1st. Potomac returns on November 5th. Married to Medicine. Whew. Lord, you guys, we're going to be busy with reviews. But I appreciate everybody for, showing love and support, you guys. I can't think of anything else to talk about because I think we wrapped everything up nicely with a bow. What I will say is one person from this cast that I never want to see again, Tacky Tequila. I don't ever want to see that girl anywhere on my screen because she is a hell to the gnaw for me. That girl is a gnaw. You know what? Speaking of her, I need to go find her on Twitter and block her ass because I don't need her coming for me because she did it in the first episode and I don't need her coming for me again. But yeah, you guys, be sure to like the video, you guys. Also, you guys, please do me a big favor before we get off of here, you guys. I want you guys to go subscribe to Shayna's channel. So this is Shayna. Go subscribe to Shayna for me. And also, you guys, please go subscribe to the Bell Perspective TV, you guys. And I will catch you guys. Yes, Bell, I need to block that girl. I need to block Tequila because I said something about her last night and I'm surprised she ain't found it yet. I'm surprised Tequila ain't found it yet and tried to come for me again. But I got to find Tequila and block that ass because I'm not dealing with Big Bird. We are not having it with Big Bird because she thinks she's big and bad. But never mind. Let me shut it. But yeah, Big Bird got to get blocked. I got to find her. Oh, baby, trust me, believe me, wherever she pops up as, she will get blocked expeditiously. Like she would get blocked expeditiously. I don't deal with that type of ignorance. That is a different type of ignorance that I don't deal with. She thinks just because she's from Shreveport, she bad. Like, let me point that out. Let me just talk about that real quick before I get off of here. Because she yelled to Janelle that she from Shreveport. Girl, it don't matter where you from. Just because you from a certain sect of a place, don't mean you can fight. So I want people to stop saying, "Oh, I'm from Chicago. Oh, I'm from Oak Cliff." That's a part of Dallas, you guys. Oh, I'm from here and here. Just because you scream that don't mean you can fight. Don't mean that that person won't whoop your ass. Do I believe that Janelle? Oh, I do believe Janelle might have. I think that with Janelle and Tequila, I think Janelle might would have got Tequila because I think Tequila is all mouth and no action. That's my personal opinions. But that's all I got, you guys. Yeah, so we will definitely watch the spinoff next week. And you guys may see a review. I don't know. I haven't. I'll let you guys know by the time we get to the episode. So you guys know how it is. If I do it, you'll see it next Saturday morning. So that is all I got, you guys. But be safe, you guys. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear guys. I don't know if y'all want to wear the mask because COVID has popped back up. It ain't went away. So do whatever you will. Just be safe out there, you guys. And join me tomorrow, you guys, for another live of Love is Blind, episodes 9, 8, and 9. I have watched episode 8. I'm finishing up 9, and then I'm going to do a pre-recorded review, and then join me tomorrow morning for that live, and I'll see you guys then. Yes, COVID is real. Be safe, y'all. I'll catch y'all guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.